bounce just on Melbourne's attacking side of centre. A chance for the Demons now. Beveridge takes the hand pass from Lovett. Campbell at the back this time. Now, Ronnie McEwen had words to him after he missed that shot. It'll be interesting to see if Campbell has the last laugh after he takes this shot at goal.
Actually, that is another good mark because McEwen's a strong player.
He's got the goal. Melbourne's first.
Well, that is his 10th goal for the season, Tony Campbell. And partway through the first quarter, I would have thought that Campbell may have been better suited at centre-half back and suppose Earl Spalding up there because Melbourne weren't getting anything. But Campbell certainly has figured the last minute with a brilliant mark, and this is another good mark by Tony Campbell.
Free kick, I think, to Campbell.
And actually, Campbell now playing at centre-half forward. When O'Dwyer goes off the ball, he goes into the forward pocket. Stynes comes onto the ball, and Campbell, who was in the forward pocket, at centre-half forward for Melbourne.
Let's see what happened here. Too high from Banks. Too much doubt about that. So Tony Campbell having his third shot at goal. He's got one goal and one out of bounds on the full so far. Advice from Brian Wilson, who last week at the MCG kicked, I think it was 3 goals in the first quarter. Campbell, 45 metres out, directly in front. Melbourne's second goal. Campbell's second goal.
Well, he is playing well at the moment, Tony Campbell. He really did attack that ball, although he was aided by the fact that it came over the back, but he ran onto it really well.
Now the Stynes has been directed wider. And now he's got tons of room to play on. Athos Sarissalakis just caught napping there a bit. Stynes to half forward, and this is where this man must play. Centre-half forward, Spalding.
Well, he's down at centre-half back, but he seems to be running between the 2 half-forward lines.
Well, he's one of the best centre-half forwards in the game, Spalding. He should play there as he brings it towards full forward, Wilson.
Now, that was terrific judgment on that occasion because that ball did drop rather harshly, and it was Wilson who put his body in front and a good mark.
Well, he's only 25 metres out directly in front. He's a very capable goal kicker, Brian Wilson. Directly in front, they need this Melbourne as Wilson kicks and pops it through.
Well, he was a good player last week, Brian Wilson. And partway through the year, he showed very indifferent form, and at one stage was thinking of retiring. And he's talked back into coming back to Melbourne. The Melbourne people will be glad he did because he really has picked up, and 4 goals last week, or 3 goals in the first quarter. It was a good effort.
A bit too long for just about everybody down there except Jamie Dersma, who'll do the tidying up work. He's gone out wide to Johnson in the left back pocket. Long clearing kick by the West Australian. Phoebe in front. The 2 number 21s, Christian, will stand the mark.
And the reason McEwen's gone off is because Jackson was in the forward pocket, and they now put Tranter onto Jackson.
Kick to centre wing. Spalding and Morwood, nearly a mark to Morwood. Campbell comes out with the ball. Campbell's kick up towards the centre-half forward position. Turner got 2 hands to it. That could have almost been a Melbourne free kick for Spalding. The umpire says no. Jackson just under the ground to Wilson. Should be a Melbourne goal. Over the top to Bennett. Oh, he gives it back to Jackson, who's kicked it.
Well, you'd have your heart in your mouth if you're a Melbourne supporter on that occasion. It was a 3-on-1 situation, and I did think that Dennis Banks, who is limping on, looks as if he's twisted his ankle. Let's hope he hasn't. If Dennis Banks would upset that effort. There's Ricky Jackson breaking, just coming off interchange bench. Now there's only Dennis Banks down here for Collingwood. He's caught between the 3 of them. Bit airy-fairy, but nonetheless they got a goal.
Desperate play by the Collingwood defence as we see Banks putting the ball to ground. Umpire calls play on loose ball with Wilson. An open goal. Brian Wilson hooks it back. I think he's put it through. He has.
Well, on that occasion, as soon as the ball left the boot, Brian Wilson knew it was a goal. And it's quite interesting studying the players when they're having a shot for goal. That previous one, he tried to will it through by moving the head from side to side. But on that occasion, watch this. He picked it up well. And what a magnificent snap for goal over the left shoulder.
Stynes knocks it away from Monkhurst. Hecker off the ground from Graeme Yeats towards the half-forward line. We'll see a different style of football in the second half. And Gaffer Didn't read that at all well. Beveridge to Wilson to Newport outside 50. The Melbourne tagger could just about score from there with the breeze. That'll go pretty close. Banks, did he touch it? No, says the goal umpire.
Well, what an ambitious kick then by Stephen Newport. I thought, well, he may have been a little hungry from that 50-metre line. He didn't look for options. He banged it towards goal, and I suppose with the breeze behind it, that was a magnificent kick. Watch this. This is from about 50 metres out. He goes on to the 50 metre. Actual fact, it's about 55 metres out. And a valiant effort by Dennis Banks. He just could not stop it.
Very handy goal, that one to Melbourne. Just after half-time, the margin now is 3 points in favour of Collingwood.
Back into the centre. 5 Collingwood players have now kicked goals. The difference, 9 points once again in favour of the Magpies. Shaw runs straight at the ball, but he does always. Grinter spirals the punt kick. Rain still falling, and the sun's out. Beveridge. Yeats, Spalding it is rather, onto Healy. Not a particularly good hand pass. Jackson. Healy could go from there, runs in, shepherded well by Wilson, and that's a pretty quick reply. Well, Greg Healy putting through his first goal and Melbourne's 7th, and once again the difference is 3 points.
Well, Greg Healy is moving very well. I haven't seen Greg Healy move with so much life for a long time. Here it is, Spalding setting it up. There's Healy, the long hand pass in the direction of goal. When you're under pressure like that, it's about the only thing you can do. He followed it up well and a quick hand pass from Jackson. Good play, Melbourne.
Monkhurst wins this one. Good ruck work down to Tony Shaw. Stretch in front. A high tackle, holding the man. The umpire actually played the advantage rule, and Healy takes advantage of it. And that's a fine sliding mark taken by Darren Bennett.
What a good effort by Stretch. It's a pity he doesn't do that a little more often. He got it across to Healy, and a good kick to Healy. A sliding mark to Darren Bennett. There it is. He's only had the one kick up until this stage and one handball, so he hasn't had much use of the ball.
Well, Darren Bennett is one of the longest kicks in the competition. Now, if he can get some good footing, he'll get the distance without any problems. He's done that. It's a goal.
Well, his 29th for the season, Darren Bennett. And at least they've got a big man down there, and the players, if they're under pressure, they can put it high and know that the ball could be marked deep on that forward line. But that was a good sliding mark, instigated by the great effort by Stephen Stretch when he went through on that outer wing, got it across to Healy, and a good pass from the captain, Greg Healy, to Darren Bennett.
5 kicks and 6 handballs he's had. Spalding comes back after. He's a good player, this man, Spalding. A high kick on the left foot. Oh, some shepherding. Is it a goal? Yes!
What a magnificent kick by Earl Spalding. Luke Beveridge doesn't look too good. After that clash in the goal square, he's probably knocked his shin, and they really do hurt. But a good effort by Spalding. He has worked hard, as Peter suggested earlier. Here he is going for the hit out. It was Christian who got it. But watch Spalding follow up very quickly. He didn't look at the goal square. He just put it in the vicinity of the goal. It's a high ball. And lucky, a bounce through.
4 goals to Melbourne in this quarter, to 1 by Collingwood. A good turn for the Demons, and picked up at centre field by Phoebe. Melbourne doing all the attacking. Bennett not a mark. Didn't play up the umpire. And you can't really argue with that. A throw, says the umpire now. A Collingwood free kick.
Things going Melbourne's way. There was a different free kick, but Melbourne are playing. They're playing better than Collingwood at the moment, Pete.
Healy right on 50 with the wind. Bennett at the back. Shepherds that run through. That's another one.
Just watch the way Greg Healy does kick this ball. He was a long way out from goal. The drop punt, he's only a small fellow, but when he did actually kick the ball, he just kept running through, and the momentum of his body helped the ball on its way. Now here's the infringement. There's, oh, well, that's a lay down misère, isn't it? Now what's that kick? He just ran straight through that ball. A great kick from the captain. Beveridge coming off, and Viney coming on, so he doesn't look too good.
3 Melbourne players have now kicked 2 goals. Campbell, Wilson and Healy, 64-49. And again, Melbourne out of the centre through Spalding. Onto Yeats, the Demons into attack again. Bennett getting the front position. Banks, good use of the body. Jackson was dangerous in a forward pocket. Centering kick, and the mark has been taken in the square by Viney. So Melbourne who at half-time trailed 34-43 in the first half of this term, have possibly turned in a match-winning effort. Todd Viney directly in front for Melbourne's 11th goal.
Well, he shouldn't miss this, Viney. And what a handy lead to Melbourne, kicking with the breeze. Cloak coming on as he... Oh, he's just kicked it.
Yes, I can understand why that gasped, Peter, because it didn't look a good kick off the boot. But Viney, who's just come on replacing Luke Beveridge, his first goal. But it was Ricky Jackson's effort. Now here it is here. Look at this. A ball held across the body. That's what they do in soccer. They run down that outer wing in soccer and then they screw the ball back in to open up the goal face. Good stuff.
It's Melbourne this quarter kicking 6 goals to Collingwood's 1 in a top effort under some rather difficult conditions with the rain we've had. Yeats, a clever knock on. Jackson again in the pocket. Will we have a shot or have a centering kick? This time he has a shot and he's put it through.
Well, Ricky, you might have kicked that goal then, but Greg Healy was in a better position. He was on Jackson's left hand and he could have put the ball across by hand and Healy would have run into an open goal, but it was a very good kick by Jackson. Watch it, here it is, Road, Yeats, and there's Healy. Look, Healy calling for it. A very acute angle, a little bit of luck going Melbourne's.
It's right in that forward pocket. Bennett taps it over to Healy. Healy shuffles it out. Graeme Yeats on the left foot, hooks it. Oh, this is close. It could be a goal. It is.
Well, Graeme Yeats has started on interchange. That's his first goal. Well set up there by Melbourne. It was Bennett who got it over the back to Healy. Then Healy quickly across to Yeats. What's this? Good stuff. Quick handball. And Yeats, another snap. Melbourne have increased their lead.
Ticking away, close to three-quarter time. A brilliant steal by Jackson on right centre wing. Now, if the Demons can get a goal here, it will be vital. They're into the breeze in the last quarter. Over the head of Pack. Wilson off the ground. Was it touched? Don't know that it was. It's a goal!
What a miraculous goal that was. Brian Wilson, you can take a bow. But what a good effort by Sean White down the other end of the ground. He disguised that very, very well. He was going for the boundary line, but brought it back between his legs, or somehow he got it back in. And a great chop off there by Ricky Jackson. 2 bounces, not difficult. And it's very difficult to bounce the ball, but watch this by Brian Wilson. Number 7, left foot. I thought Tranter might have got a hand to it, but
by Gafer. Tony Shaw, the 2 captains again. Healy, but it will be Stretch to pick it up.
Stretch, beautiful sidestep. He really has a lot of talent, Stretch. He brings it to half forward. At the back was Basiska with a big punch. It might favour Melbourne, though. The kick off the ground comes straight to Phoebe, who's been a great player all day. Phoebe to half forward. Danger for Collingwood. Spalding tries to tap it back over his head. The pace of Jackson. Over to Viney. Viney cleverly handballs back. Here's a chance for Tony Campbell. He's gone short. Oh, great play by Melbourne to Bennett, and Bennett will make the distance, I would think.
Gee, that was a good pass by Campbell because he really summed up the situation. That was a pressurised situation and he summed it up beautifully, and a great pass and good lead.
Probably the most vital kick of the game, this. If he kicks this, it'll be very difficult for Collingwood. He's 45 metres out. He's a long kick. He's a booming drop punt. It's coming back. I think it's a goal. It is.
Well, he has had a quiet day, Darren Bennett. But if he does get the ball, especially inside 50, he's always a chance to kick it. He'll definitely make the distance. The only problem would be accuracy. And that was a good kick. It was a good passage of play. That's his second goal. 2 goals, 1 for the day. There's Campbell and a great lead.
How bad was that miss by Gavin Brown after all that?
It might be just a little bit too much. Johnson, short of the right centre wing for the Melbourne side. We'll find Tony Campbell with the kick, a clever tap on to get it away from Kerrison. Jackson, always dangerous close to goal, and the short pass is a ripper. Melbourne looking the goods at the end of the game now. Viney, another short pass from him. Bennett on the lead and takes his second mark inside a minute.
The difference between these two sides is that Melbourne disposed of the ball better than what Collingwood. Collingwood have not had a passage in the day where they've disposed of the ball like that. Melbourne have done it on countless occasions.
So Darren Bennett, after a quiet day really, has a chance to sew up the game. He should get the distance. He's a long kick. And that, I would say, is just about the elimination final.
Well, he has got a copybook style of kicking the ball, Darren Bennett. You have a look at the way that he kicks the ball. He's got the taut in step and a very, very straight knee. He also times the ball beautifully, and that helps him get the distance. He's a big man. And watch this from behind goal. Look at the legs. Terrific follow through.
Never looked like missing, did it, that goal? And it was Darren Bennett's third. In fact, it will be. It'll be taken by Lovett. He's been another good player for Melbourne.
Well, he took Dacos right out of the game after quarter time.
From centre half back, he's gone direct. Alan Johnson marking out a post in front of Morwood. Johnson coming into some good form now. That'll be good news for Melbourne. And as Peter McKenna said, Stephen Phoebe, one of Melbourne's better players. A short pass, he tries to find Bennett, got underneath the ball a bit, and that will roll through for one behind.
No, free kick to Bennett.
Now, Bennett's kicked 3 goals so far.
Well, Darren Bennett has kicked 3, and he's got a free kick from 30 metres directly in front. It is a great kick. What do you think? Not much in that, Don.
Tiggy Touchwood.
Very lucky free kick to Bennett. But I don't think it'll make any difference to the game, because with 4.5 minutes of play left, Melbourne have this game well in their keeping. Can Darren Bennett kick his 4th? He lays back again, slams a goal. Is it through? Yes, another one to the Demons.
Well, Melbourne can do no wrong. It's late in the game and they're starting to draw away, and that quiet Darren Bennett, his 3rd goal for the quarter, he's finished with 4, or could finish the game with 4. He was a very quiet player early on. Maybe the fact that McEwen put his hand on his shoulder was the reason the umpire gave that free.
Eventually it'll go to the line, and Wilson quite happy to see it to the line as the time clock ticks away. Siren about to go. Great performance, Melbourne. As we see David blow. There it is.
So the final scores here, 17-9, 111 to 13-10-88. Melbourne, after they trailed by 7 points at quarter time and still trailed by 9 points at half time, got their act together with a brilliant 3rd quarter when they booted 9 goals to. Actually, Peter, they outplayed Collingwood in the second term, although Collingwood on the scoreboard got the better with those 2 late goals.
You're dead right, Pete. For 3 quarters, the last 3 quarters of the game, Melbourne were far the better side. They had too many good players for the Collingwood side, and it started right at the centre bounces with big Jimmy Steins. They were smart, Melbourne, with the slippery conditions for a while. They took off O'Dwyer, left it to Steins, and they had so many good players, particularly in defence, where Brett Lovett was excellent, Johnson was great, Sean White did his job, and all around the ground they had much better players. Spalding was outstanding wherever he played, at centre back, centre forward. He seemed to have a roving commission, and in the end Bennett was doing some good leading. But see the team spirit of Melbourne. They really have got a lot of spirit. Grinter was a great player in defence. And then Greg Healy set a fine example as a rover. Newport did a great tagging job on Gavin Brown. And also Dacos was taken out of, after a brilliant first quarter, Dacos was taken out of it by Brett Lovett. Great performance today by Melbourne. They've got a lot of spirit. They've won this game in the finish, Pete, quite comfortably.
Yes, 63,062 saw the victory. Melbourne have yet to lose an elimination final. Their score is 3-zip in that regard. 17-9, 111, defeating Collingwood 13-10-88.